June the 6th, 1944, the day the world changed. While Allied forces stormed the beaches of Normandy in one of the most famous invasions in history, the soldiers on the other side, the German troops manning the Atlantic Wall, faced a reality far different from the triumphant tales often told. For them, D-Day was not a liberation but an onslaught, a moment of brutal reckoning. In the early hours of the 6th of June, German soldiers stationed along Normandy began their day much like any other. Many believed that the worst of the war might be behind them. The Atlantic Wall, a vast system of bunkers, mines, and fortifications ordered by Hitler himself, was seen as a formidable deterrent. Propaganda and military briefings led many to believe that if an Allied invasion were to come, it would target Calais, not the rugged Normandy coast. Some were hardened veterans from the Eastern Front, others were fresh conscripts from occupied territories, and still others were older men or teenage boys assigned to less critical sectors. Few anticipated the scale or ferocity of what was coming. When the invasion began, the initial reaction was disbelief. Reports of airborne landings and ships off the coast were treated by some commanders as false alarms. By the time the German High Command grasped the magnitude of the attack, it was too late. The German soldiers defending the beaches, especially at strong points like Omaha and Juno, faced an apocalyptic barrage of naval artillery, aerial bombing, and waves of Allied troops. Machine gunners, riflemen, and artillery crews fought tenaciously, often until they ran out of ammunition or were simply overrun. Love diving deeper into military history? This video is supported by my YouTube members who get exclusive videos weekly, not available anywhere else for their kind support. You can join their ranks easily. Just hit the join button now to get the exclusive videos and much more. Thank you for supporting me. I couldn't be doing it without your help. If you want to know more about Germany's Panzer tactics, check out my ebook in the description. Many were killed in their bunkers or burned alive in flamethrower assaults. Others witnessed comrades cut down before their eyes, helpless against the sheer firepower arrayed against them. To the defenders, it often felt like a hopeless stand. Yet, many held their ground with remarkable resilience. At Omaha Beach, for instance, the defenders inflicted the highest Allied casualties of the day, nearly stopping the Americans in their tracks. From the German side, motivation varied widely. For many, it was not a question of ideology but duty. Conscription left them little choice. Others, especially younger troops raised under Nazi indoctrination, genuinely believed that they were protecting Germany from an existential threat. Some veterans, especially those who had fought in the Soviet Union, were driven by a grim sense of fatalism. They had already seen the horrors of war and felt there was no way out. To surrender was unthinkable. rumors circulated of harsh treatment or summary execution by the Allies. Yet, there were also those who doubted. German soldiers witnessing the industrial scale of Allied operation began to question their chances of winning the war. Whispers of disillusionment were common, especially among officers who saw the logistical and strategic imbalance. But amidst fear, chaos, and propaganda, most kept fighting. One of the greatest frustrations for German soldiers on D-Day was the paralysis of their own command. Hitler's refusal to release armored divisions, believing the Normandy landings were a diversion, gave the Allies precious hours to consolidate their positions. Reinforcements trickled in too late. German troops on the front lines fought desperately, but without coherent coordination or support. In their accounts, many German soldiers described feeling abandoned, not just physically, but mentally as well. The vastness of the Allied armada was demoralizing. "We didn't fight men," one German survivor later recalled. "We fought machines, and the machines were endless." By the end of the D-Day, over 4,000 German soldiers were dead. Thousands more were wounded or captured. Those who survived often retreated into the interior of France, where they would face a relentless Allied advance over the following weeks. For many, Normandy became their grave. Yet, even in defeat, German soldiers left a mark on history through their fierce defense. The Allies paid dearly for every mile they gained, and the brutality of D-Day was a testament to both sides' determination. Today, the memory of D-Day is often filtered through the lens of Allied heroism and liberation. But on the other side of the beaches were men, often young, often frightened, fighting not for conquest, but for survival, loyalty, and in many cases, because they had no other choice. Understanding D-Day from the German perspective does not diminish the righteousness of the Allied cause. Rather, it humanizes the tragedy of war. It reminds us that in every bunker, behind every gun, was a human being caught in the storm of history. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you want to support my channel, check out the PayPal donation link in the description or consider becoming a member. To make sure you don't miss my future work, subscribe to my channel please and press the bell notification button. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.